rabbis of yesteryear. On Chav Chet Sivan, the 28th of Sivan, Mark Sihilula, a very well Greek-connected rabbi. His name was Rabbi Rafael Shlomo Murdoch. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, famous rabbi of his time. He was born in English year 1760 and passed away in the year 1846. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the famous rabbi's life. Now, he was born, as we said, in 1760, the heart of the 18th century, respectively. That was Tav, Kuf, Chav, respectively, in Saloniki, in Greece. At that point in time, it was part of the Ottoman Empire. It was a prestigious community, was in Saloniki at that point in time, and it came from great rabbinic auspices. His father's name was Rav Chaim Murdoch, I believe. Very great rabbis, and he would grow up learning Torah with the Yirat Shamayim and possessing a wealth of rabbanim all around him. He became not just proficient in Torah, he was in worldly subjects, for example, in mathematics, just like many of the Greek rabbis. And in Greece at that point in time, people were experts at maths, so he very much was good at that. And astronomy also, he was known to be very, very knowledgeable within regard to that. He would write down various different, let's just say, Torah works, manuscripts, within regards to, let's say, the wisdom of the Mazalot, respectively. B'chochmot HaMazalot, respectively. I think some of it was, some of his writings was connected very much to the writings of Rabbi Avraham ibn Ezra, who's another famous rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before. I think there will be a calendar will be printed in a name called the Cheshek Shlomo. This would be a writing of his. I think it was very well known and let's just say very documented. For Parnasai, he would work as a sofer. I think in Saloniki, this was he would as a writer. I think in various trading houses also in Saloniki in Greece at that point in time. Remember, many other rabbis and let's just say Torah learners will couple their Limudei Kodesh with a trade also within regards to Parnasa. I think it's interesting. I think come with the year 1831, his book called Eitzat Chachamim would actually be printed. This was, I think it was the advice of the wise men. This was in Saloniki, respectively. And this book will take on various different musar, let's say wisdom, like teachings, and philosophy. It will go in the more philosophy brand of books, which was out that point in time. Then I think in the year 1827, it was in Taf Kuf Pei Zayin, if I'm not mistaken, he would publish another book. This book was called the Mare of Ophanim. I believe this was based on various different sermons, drashot, I think very much connected. I think through his son would actually, it would be public. It would have in various different introductions. I think by his son Rav Yitzchak, I believe. More books will get printed on as time goes on, including Gorelei Shlomo. This was, let's just say, other various different teachings. Let's just say within regards to, I think also connected. Let's just say to Torat Ibur, the Ahaziyata Vele Arpano. This was remained in manuscript, and I think once again connected to his son Chacham Yitzchak. I think he would actually write a book called Nefesh Yosef, if I'm not mistaken, at a later stage. Now, he passed away on the 28th of Sivan in the year 1846. Now, for example, I believe the book, the Mare of Ophanim, for example, would contain 221 pages. As we said, that was printed in the year 1827 in Saloniki. Saloniki had, I think, a strong publishing house at that point in time. Many books were actually printed, if I'm not mistaken, during that era, and we'll get many recommendations, I believe this book would, containing 221 pages. This would be sermons, drashot, let's just say, and I think the book was actually written in Hebrew. So this was published, we're talking about nearly 200 years ago, 198 years ago here from time of recording. I think you can actually see the book actually on the HebrewBooks.org website. Now let's explore a few of his teachings in the various books, especially in the Mare of Ophanim. I think on page number 26 is a nice teaching saying, Melamed, this one of the teachings over there. It's very much featured in page number 26. I'm quoting this from the Hayomi website, which gives it speaks about various different great rabbis from the Ottoman countries and North African countries. Another one, Melamed hachova livkot kol adam gam im eno mochzek tzadik v'chasid. This is featured very much in page number 43 in the same book, respectively. Another teaching, Melamed la'avi ha'oreach el beito, al she'eno makom ki im But Arabubiyah, I believe this once again in the Mare of a 9 book in page number 65, actually in Amud Bet over there. This was once again, I think the book was printed through Betzalel Halevi Ashkenazi. I think he happened to be a rabbi. Maybe we've spoken about it before. This was in Saloniki, I think maybe in the year 1875. So according to one opinion, it was printed in his lifetime in 1827. Maybe it was a revised version in 1875, but that'll be interesting to hear. Another teaching. This is, I think, featured very much in page number 10 in the Mara of Nim, once again, in that specific book. Another teaching. This is featured in page number 90, I believe. Once again, very much printed through Rabbi Betzalel Halevi Ashkenazi from Saloniki. This is page number 19, and a final teaching inside this book. This featured very much in page number 55 of the book Mare of Naim. Once again, connected, we have to stress, to Betzalel Halevi Ashkenazi, another great rabbi of his time. There's a wealth of different videos, let's just say writings from various different great rabbis from Greece, and it's very much featured. You can see in the HebrewBooks.org website, and there's teachings on the Hayemi website also, which we've used their resources very much for other great rabbis we've spoken about on various occasions in this series. He lived at a time period in Greece where there were many, many great rabbis, especially that came from Greece. In of its day, which we have to point out. From the Chacham Yomi website, there was many great rabbis at that point in time, which I recommend. If you look over our series that we've done from different countries, from different places we've been, it's absolutely phenomenal. Like the different countries which would host, let's just say, the various different places you can see from the various different kihilot. Let's just look, especially in Yavan at that point in time. There was many great rabbis, especially in his era itself, because he passed away himself, I believe it was in the year 1846. Rav Shlomo Murdoch did. There's other great rabbis. For example, there was a rabbi, Avram Ibn Gon. I think he actually was born in that year in 1846. He was from Greece also. Another great rabbi of his time was Rav Vidal Kohanika, another rabbi who spoke. He passed away in the year 1862. He was once again also from Greece. There was Rabbi Chizkiah Shabta, was born in 1862. Very much during his time period. Another rabbi, famous Rabbi Chaim Rachamim Yosef Franco, lived around this era in Greece. He passed away in the year 1901. He was very much at that point in time. Rabbi Yehuda ben Yaakov Nachama was between 1825 to 1899, living around his time. Another rabbi, Rabbi Yosef ben Yosef, lived between 1808 to 1888, respectively. Very interesting. Another great Greek rabbi, Rabbi Yisrael Moshe Chazan, was a famous rabbi in Greece. He passed away in 1863. He was also overlapping his era. Another rabbi overlapping the great rabbi's era, Rabbi Nisim Rafael Yitzchak Tsuriano, a rabbi I think we spoke about quite recently. He passed away in 1860, for example. Rabbi Rafael Asher Kobo, remember we've spoken about the dynasty of the Kobo family. He was around his time. He passed away in 1874. Another rabbi, Rabbi Rachamim Chaim Yehuda Yisrael, passed away in 1892. And let's speak about two more rabbis who lived in his time period. Very much, I think Rabbi Rafael Yitzchak Yisrael came from the famous Yisrael rabbinic dynasty. He was around his time. Rabbi Rafael Yaakov Menashe passed away in 1832. He was around the same era in Saloniki, which was very much part of the Ottoman Empire of that day. He, the latter, would bring about various different Torah colossal works, also including the Be'er HaMayim and the Ayin HaMayim, respectively, which is Chiddushim and Drushim. So friends, through a community here, we're learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear. 28th of Sivan is the Hilula of Rabbi Rafael Shlomo Murdoch, famous rabbi, some famous writer of his time. If you descend from any of the famous rabbis we're speaking about, please send me an email or a comment. I would love to hear more information. If you feel anyone is interested in watching any of these videos in this series, please share these videos to other people also. And don't forget, friends, to subscribe to the channel. We're nearing 7,000 subscribers. We want to get to the month of Tammuz, very close to that figure. Also, we've covered more than 1,000 mini biography videos of great rabbis from Ottoman countries, North African countries, Spanish countries of yesteryear. When online encyclopedia over here, we try and do the videos usually at a time period of the yard site, their Kilula over here. So wishing you all well, and take care. Blessings here from the city of Bet Shemesh, and pray for Israel, everyone. We're in a turbulent time period. A lot of miracles happened last night here once again in Israel. And thanks everyone for watching, and take care. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.